in 3, 2, 1.
Yo. Poopy poo.
And welcome back to Janky AF and my janky life. All right, well, someone just asked about it. I apologize, I don't remember your name, but here we have, thank you for asking, here we have the Fiat X19. I'll try to actually keep this short episode. We'll see if that actually happens. We just took it out for a drive, me and the sweetheart, and if you stick around till the end of the video, I'll probably throw some of that footage in here. But first things first, I promised I would show my friend Kadesh's art in the next episode. It is the next episode, so we gotta show that now. You may notice, in the meantime, there is a fence that is cropped up there, and you know, when we don't upload videos, it doesn't mean we're not doing anything. Quite the contrary, it usually means we're extra busy. So, we have been, going at just like a feverish pace, getting stuff done. The kitchen, as you can see, is actually clean, which is incredible. Oh, there's the dogs. Say hi, everyone. There's Milosh, Brago, Lenny, all together, borking and borking. All right, got to say hi to the critters. There's Barry. Hey, Barry. Wonderful person, Kadesh, whom I met through another wonderful person, Jarvis. They are both very, very talented artists, and I want to redo this bathroom eventually. You can see I bought the toilet and I bought the sink. They're going to be like, dark fixtures and then some tile. But anyways, Kadesh had these. I originally wanted to buy earrings because she makes wonderful earrings too. And everything is just in this just absolutely exquisite packaging. I mean, down to the last detail. Everything is just so cool. And she makes all this stuff from scratch, and she included little notes. And it's just incredible. Like, just the attention to detail is so phenomenal. I respect and appreciate her so much as an artist. And then I didn't even know that she did painting, and she had these abstracts, and I was like, I want to buy one of these abstracts. And I ended up liking them so much, and she even painted these frames. And, just the way the colors blend here, I feel like with an abstract painting, it just either works or it doesn't. And there's almost not much you can say really in terms of analyzing it. I mean, you can, it's like a Rorschach test. Everybody sees different stuff. I think these will work anyway. I think I'll probably hang them vertically, but suffice to say, these obviously work. I love the colors. I love the painted frames. She has this wonderful signature, which is, an X out, and I'll try to leave some links in the description if you want to check out the artwork. And only thing I'll say is that these were so reasonably priced that if you're watching this, Kadesh, when, the janky subscribers start, trying to buy stuff from you, raise your prices, because we appreciate reasonably priced art, and I try to be reasonable with my stuff too, but this stuff is just so cool and so wonderful that people should be paying top dollar for it, and I am happy to as well. So next time I buy stuff from you, charge me more. All right, so there's the bathroom. But Janky do thanky, in all seriousness, to Kadesh. Just, it's so nice to make connections like that in life where you feel like there's someone also out there just working really hard and really honest and just making really cool stuff that is pure personal expression. And again, the attention to detail and all that little stuff, I just appreciate so much. So big Janky do thanky, and shout out to Kadesh, and shout out to Jarvis while we're at it. So anywho, okay, turning back here, one of the things we're doing is trying to get a fence for the critters so they can run around. And I started out here kind of not knowing what I was doing. We got an auger, and then little by little, I've kept at it, and now I've kind of got a system down. Split rail fence, we bought all this in Pennsylvania from a great dude on Marketplace, rented a U-Haul, drove down there, got it all. And it takes me about, we got a great gate there. I try to be pretty good about, making that nice and even, and yada yada yada. But it is, you know, janky at the end of the day. It's all used materials, you know, so we're trying to do things janky. But I think it takes me about an hour for each post. The soil is pretty rocky. I am putting like some quick concrete in there, but you know, so there's a lot of labor that's been going on. Our big baseball weekends coming up this weekend. We do like as this truck drives by, we gotta wave to our neighbors. Always wave to the neighbors. All right. We do a big baseball weekend. You've probably seen it if you watch the 100 episodes of Year of the Aerostar. You can see that, and actually it's coming up on another year. And while we're on the subject, I apologize. It's been forever since I released the Year of the Aerostar, and there's just been a lot going on, as you can tell. So we'll maybe end where we began, although eventually, I mean, I guess we got to do a little follow-up on car roulette. So Brown Aerostar, cousin Scott came by the other day because he was on the lake in our area, in our neck of the woods, so I got to see him. Hadn't seen him in a while. We took the Brown Aerostar out for a drive. We got that, the bedding is finally complete that I took up from $1 Million View. I don't know if this makes sense to anybody who's watching this. Some of you, I guess, watch these episodes and maybe you know what I'm talking about. So anyways, that's finally consolidated. We'll get that over to where it's going to have its permanent home. And that'll be nice because then the Brown Aerostar will be cleaned out. And I would like to eventually take this to some sort of specialist. I have a lead on like sort of an Aerostar specialist that my buddy Evan just took his to, and rave reviews. And so that would be great if we could find someone just to give us a tune-up. I think it's running rich. I think it's always run rich. It always smells like there's too much gas, and it has had some work done to it. It's running pretty well right now, but I just want to get it sort of dialed in. And you know, it's been off the road for you know, 2 years now, so you know, it needs to get refurbished. The Jetta is back now, and there were car roulette episode. Driving great. I've been dailying this thing because it's so much fun to drive. It was just a little bushing in the transmission, which is exactly what I thought it was, but rather than messing around with it, being a janky, I took it to a great shop that I go to. You can see the headliner in there. Been getting compliments on that. Just moved some toilets with it, and we got all the stenciling to finish sort of the outside. But this car is so fun to drive. It's just a 2-liter, naturally aspirated, makes just over 100 horsepower. I think it actually makes more torque than horsepower. I have reviewed this car. But it's so zippy and peppy, and they just don't make cars like this anymore. Like, it's smaller than like a, you know, even in a station wagon, it's much smaller than you would see like a Honda Civic nowadays. Just a great car. So it's been so much fun to drive that. We got the fog lights in. So kind of, you know, after a lot of these struggles, kind of a red letter day. The Subaru we won't talk about because that's consuming oil again. And the AC is still like sort of pumping water into the footwell. I think it's when you turn the wheel, so maybe some hose is getting pinched. I haven't really climbed under there and looked at it. Don't even get me started on Subarus, but so we won't touch that. And then finally the Fiat, we just took this out for a drive, as I mentioned. And every time you know, I had boxes and stuff piled on, and I have some pictures in here. Maybe I'll throw in a little time lapse, even though I don't like to edit these pieces. It's leaking a little bit, but not too much for sitting how much it has. You know, I mean, the Subaru's leaking more oil than that. This is 2015. This is a 1982. You can see the vintage and historical plates that I'm going to put on it. I may have showed you this before, but it says X19. Ha ha, he he, very clever. And I just like the sort of orangish color. You know, you can just see, look at the quality and craftsmanship of a license plate back then and now. Everything embossed and stamped, and now it's just this, you know, and the ones before this, they just totally peeled off because they, I think, paid prisoners just an insultingly low amount of money, like, you know, 5 cents an hour or whatever, to make these plates. And it's not even a knock on the craftsmanship of the inmates there, the incarcerated people. It's just they probably gave them, you know, crap products to begin with. But anyways, so you know, it's just and it's again, it's just flat there, and you can see, you know, even if you get really close, the digitized you know, quality is is not that great as these old, wonderful, just stamped pieces. So again, a little janky, whatever there. You know, we try to keep it positive here, but it is funny to note that. You just see that a lot where you notice, like, you know, just these older things sometimes are a little bit just like beefier. Even this transmission, the bar tab transmission they call this, when you drive this thing, like, it feels almost like a agricultural transmission, which I think a lot of people knock on it for that, and cars like this in general, but I like it. It feels like solid. I don't like when a transmission just feels like I'm gonna snap it. You know, I like when it's like nice and solid and beefy, and it engages me more with the vehicle when I'm actually driving it. And I like when a car, no power steering on this car, just fantastic. So it was you know, it's got some smells. I've replaced a few things, but it definitely needs some more fuel lines replaced. And the biggest thing is the noise. So maybe I'll show you the parts Fiat real quick, and maybe we'll stop after that. Once I get the artwork hung and the bathroom starts to go, I'll of course update you on that again. Here's the parts Fiat. I think if I can, Cousin Scott was sort of consulting me, and if I can just get this plenum off, of course I've already snapped a bolt here, which sucks. I don't know how I'm gonna get that out, but if I can get this off, I should be able to gain pretty good access to the exhaust. Try to take it off in one piece, and then, you know, I'm gonna have to either try to get the headers off, or at that point maybe take it to a shop. I do have another lead on a local shop that does more exhaust work stuff, and even like welding, because eventually I'd like to, you know, get some of this taken care of. So I didn't mean to turn this into a car episode. It's just sort of a general update on my janky life, because that's what we do here. A lot of the artwork is out of the shop because it's at the venue, and maybe I'll do an episode from the venue before the art show, but we have both the art show and our big baseball weekend coming up. So it's absolutely nuts. On top of that, I have multiple jobs running. I'm helping a buddy out on one of his jobs that he's running. And so it's just pandemonium all the time. But this weekend I was able to do, you know, make some progress on the fence, drive the Fiat. It was a beautiful day. And so what more can you ask for? You know, just like really had, you know, anytime I get to like kind of tinker and then drive the Fiat with the sweetheart, that's like, you know, how do you beat it? I'm very, very lucky and fortunate. I have this wonderful art from my friend Kadesh, and I appreciate her, and Janky do thanky. So if you're interested in her work, I will try to. She specializes in earrings, but I really think she should do more visual art, because it's, you know, I just don't happen to wear earrings, so it's just a natural bias that I'm like, no, make more paintings so I could buy those. But I will try to leave a link in the description and all that jazz. And, you know, just, I see all these people. I just, the last thing I'll finish with is I just saw this Doug DeMuro video pop up about how car YouTube is dead, or that, you know, his thumbnails are very good, but like kind of weird. And it's like him with a life vest on in front of a Titanic motif, which I find not the most tasteful, but whatever. I mean, it's not like too soon or whatever. I mean, whatever. So anywho, but I don't have like a lot of, you know, wealth by the standard of sort of American capitalism. I think I'm, you know, my nickname was like the richest man in the world. That's what people used to call me, just because I seem to have like, you know, I have struggles and stuff like that, but all in all, somewhat of a charmed existence. At least I see it that way. And to me, something like this, like just a little old Fiat, might get passed over by a lot of people, but I think that you'd be very hard pressed to find a better looking sports car than this. I don't know if I showed you here, I'm going long of course already, rambling, but I got a door card out of the parts Fiat, and that was awesome. And this is going to fit right in mine. And this is the way the parts Fiat has power windows, so the way that they accommodated for that was they just put this little tiny plug in here. That's how they dealt with it. So this will all screw back in, the door handle, and it's going to fit right over these. So then once I get my red interior, we'll really have it cranking, and that will be you know, a feast for the eyes to have the red interior with this custom teak box that I guess the previous owner had made. This car was purchased new in Hawaii, as I may have mentioned. Shout out to G6 who gave me these glasses, and I decided that they were going to be Fiat exclusive glasses. You know, fire extinguisher just for safety. I got 2 of them actually, you never know with these old cars. Anywho, the point is, whatever you're into, just own it. And to me, there's nothing cooler than this. This is like, you know, a dream car for me. And things are attainable, you know, like I bought this car for $2,000. Most people can scrape together $2,000. I did it because I quit drinking, and we won't get into that. But anyways, to find some discretionary way to, you know, to scrape together money, to say you don't buy, maybe you start making coffee instead of buying it, or whatever you can do to go Knicks, by the way, to scrounge up something, and you can find something. And yeah, it's a project car. It took me a while to get it running. I had to do all sorts of stuff, and get help along the way. But you can find stuff out there, and that's, I guess, what my janky life is about, is like, there's lots and lots of little treasures and pleasures and blessings out there if you sort of take the mindset that, you know, it's all sort of a gift. And that's my little message of positivity or whatever. I get in bad moods, and I certainly have my issues in life, but try to look on the bright side, you know? So anywho, that's enough for, you know, motivational talk Monday or whatever have you. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. I will do a year of the Aerostar soon. I got to do this one that's like the end of the trifecta of these like beautiful old manuals that I still have archived. And then I want to do something after our baseball weekend and art show. It's going to be craziness, but I don't want to say it out loud, because then I don't want to spoil it, or then I'll really have to hold myself accountable. But I was thinking about doing some sort of like special where I release a bunch of them consecutively in a row to sort of like make up for lost time. And also we are pressing towards 1,000 subscribers, and it'd be cool to do something to like celebrate that if and when that eventually comes. So that's all I'll say. Thank you so much for watching. This has been my janky life here on Janky AF. We are truly grateful that you watch and comment. I have to answer comments. I'm sorry if I have not answered your comment. Sometimes it's easier for me to just show you the Fiat IRL, or through the video, as it were. So there you have it. Okay. Janky to thank you one more time to Kadesh. And until next time, we'll have another one for you very soon. And until then, Janky do thank you.